Hello, I'm Michael Diamond. You're watching Muscle Central. Okay, in the last month or two, we've had quite a number of deaths in the bodybuilding industry. Uh, Andy Hammond, uh, John Meadows, Phil Hernan, Billy Smith, and most recently Matt Mendenhall. And that's not to include athletes that have died recently, either days before a competition, at a competition where they were taken to the hospital and subsequently passed away, or shortly after. And in these situations, you can directly tie it to use of dangerous substances such as diuretics. But what about all these others that have died recently? Well, the first thing that comes to mind, especially with the average person not all familiar with bodybuilding, would be, steroids. They took steroids, and that's what happens. Well, unlike diuretics and a few other substances that are used, steroids are not going to just take it and boom, you die. Steroids don't kill you like that. They don't. Uh, Diuretics, mishap, something goes wrong, you're dead. And steroids doesn't happen like that. It doesn't kill you like that if steroids are even the cause of these deaths. Uh, Matt Mendenhall was in his early to mid 60s, and Phil Hernan late 50s, and I think Andy Hammond was also in his 50s. Uh, Although that's a young age to die at, it's not unusual. People die of all ages for various reasons. Uh, to lay the blame on the use of performance enhancing drugs, steroids. Uh, First off, if anything that you take, if you abuse it, it can cause harm. Even some things that we might consider very mundane, abuse will cause harm, and steroids are no exception. Uh, Most people are under the assumption that these pro bodybuilders, because they look the way they look, they're taking massive amounts of drugs. In some cases, they probably are, but in a lot of cases, they aren't. They have great genetics to build muscle, and then with the assistance on top of it, that's what you get. But if you do abuse them for periods of time, yeah, there's definitely going to be repercussions. But is that what's killing these people? In a couple of cases, there that we know for sure, there are other underlying issues. Uh, John Meadows had health issues unrelated to bodybuilding. Uh, Probably the use of substances wasn't the best thing for him, but wouldn't I wouldn't say it's the cause of death. He had health issues. A lot of times, these guys have underlying health issues. In some cases, it's not even known until afterwards. There are genetic factors. If certain things run in your family, you should think twice before using any type of PEDs. It's not going to cause the illness, but if you're genetically predispositioned, yes, the use of these substances can accelerate things, and that's the way it goes. So to put the blame on steroids just because they were a bodybuilder is not fair. You're discounting other factors that are involved. Genetics, predisposition for certain illnesses. Let's go back to Mike and Ray Mensa, two brothers, bodybuilders. Both, I think they were about a year apart in age. Both died at a very young age and only months apart, but naturally the accusation is going to be that the steroids killed them, when in fact there was a genetic factor, something that was passed down from their mother. So you can do things right your whole life, and you could die at a very, very young age. And it's like I said numerous times before, genetics. One last example. I'm sure everybody remembers Christopher Reeve from Superman. He had the horseback riding accident, left him a paraplegic. Wife took care of him for quite a few years. He passes away, and she passed away shortly after he passed away, and she was in her 40s, and she died of lung cancer, never smoking a cigarette a day in her life. People die for various reasons, and some things, it doesn't matter what you do, it's just totally out of your control. Sadly, we had a 2-month stretch where we lost a number of people from the industry. Some of them could have been prevented. The ones that have died just prior, at, or just after a competition, those were dangerous protocols that took their life took their lives very quickly. Those could have been preventable. But these other deaths, whether they were bodybuilders or not, the fact that they used steroids or they never took steroids a day in their life, you might have had the same outcome. Okay, that's about it for this video. If you agree or disagree with what I've said, please let me know in the comments section. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share, and by all means subscribe. Do not forget to hit that notification bell. This way, every time I put up a new video, you will be notified. Also, if you go to the description box, there are some links there. One link is to the Facebook Muscle Central page. If you go there, Any questions, you can DM me. I'd be happy to answer them. Also, you're going to find links to Species Nutrition and Mr. Potts Protein. Click on both links, go to both websites, check out all their great products. Once again, this is Michael Diamond, and I'd like to thank you for watching Muscle Central.